COVID-19 has brought about obvious changes to the way that we work. There is a much higher frequency of calls and the challenge is really keeping these calls on agenda so that we continue to use our time efficiently. We've all had to quickly become used to new forms of communication, new tech platforms like Zoom and Teams, WebEx, and bring along team members that perhaps haven't adapted as easily. With no international travel, it's meant a lot of early morning meetings, very late night meetings, but as a global brand, it's essential to ensure that we're still moving forward with our marketing strategy. We see a mix of working from home and from the office continuing at least for the next few months and potentially till the end of the year. And I think it's really interesting to see how companies are really rethinking how and where we work. I think there's going to be a lot of changes next year. Being back in the office though is very welcome. It's so important for our social and our collaborative aspects of our marketing strategy and of course team engagement. Marketing to our clients has been focused on a personalized experience. So during this time, we've had a lot of beauty advisors that have either had no work or much less work. So we've been creating virtual experiences as well as one-to-one CRM initiatives that have been really well received. Our client care program is very discreet and gentle, and our main objective has been to ensure that our clients feel valued and well respected. So there's been a need to be agile during this time, and there's been a lot of rework, as I'm sure there has been for many companies, lots of reconsideration and forecasting to what post-COVID business will look like. It's meant that our marketing team has really had to think about ways to stand out, but still be sensitive and flexible during this time while we think about how retail will recover. There has been some silver linings. It has meant that there's been time to evaluate post-promotions. We've been able to analyze data, and we've really been able to think about how we change processes within our workplace. And while 2020 is probably a year that most of us will be happy to see the back of, it's been great to slow down, to reset, and to really think about how we would do things differently. And that's such a welcome change to our usually very busy schedules. And I think the thing that's come out most clearly from this time has been that the well-being of our teams and our clients is paramount to future-proofing the success of our business.
Working from home over the past 4 months has been really positive for productivity. Because we've got more control over our time and interruptions in the day, we've been able to dedicate more time and space to thinking, which can be really difficult to do in a busy office environment. My team and I now meet daily instead of weekly because we have more time. And not only is that positive for our relationship, it means the team is more informed and enables them to go out and do their jobs more effectively, which is also really empowering. And again, that has a really positive impact on productivity. More regular communication with the team also meant that we were able to identify that we needed to be more market oriented in our work, which ultimately reshaped our media buying strategy and our messaging strategy. And we've seen a really positive impact as a result of that on our platforms and engagement over the past few months. So as we transition back into the office, we will continue to focus on productivity and time management, and looking at how we can optimize our time in the day to be more effective. And that may look like more working from home, more flexibility in our working hours. Either way, I think will reshape ultimately what our workday looks like.
When it comes to the future work we're doing for clients right now, it's really high on the agenda for me is the due diligence around everything we held to be true prior to COVID. Does it still stand? So by that I mean, is there a consumer insight that was profoundly right prior to COVID and working, but actually now not so much? Media behaviors, how have they changed? I'm not so interested in behaviors that have been enhanced. So if you were gaming before and you're gaming more, that's not something I'm so concerned with, but anything that's changed, had you never grocery shopped online before and now you've been doing that weekly, that's a fundamental change that I think we need to be very cognizant of. So any of the changes between technology, media and brands that have happened, we of course need to give the brand funnels due diligence and make sure all of those things we held true from awareness, consideration, conversion, do they still stand, or have we lost loyalists because they tried other brands and services during this time? So in a nutshell, at the moment, whilst we can be active with all our clients now, we need to make sure that whatever we bring to market is going to resonate in a world that's changed. And it may not be a drastic change for each audience, it may be micro, but we still need to make sure we've done that due diligence.